reports of an active shooter. Reports did come in just after 9:30 a.m. local time, and there is much to separate fact from fiction here. To help me do that, I'm now joined by CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues, who's in Washington. And Jeff, what can you tell us that your sources have been telling you?
Well, listen, as you've pointed out, Josh, there is a lot that even investigators at the federal level certainly don't know at this point. This is an operation on the ground there that is being led by campus police, and the information is filtering up to the top. And so the FBI, for one, is trying to figure out exactly what the situation there is on the ground. They've deployed some of their tactical units to the scene. But what we see is that law enforcement in this video has surrounded a facility there on campus. Students on campus have been warned of these reports of an active shooting situation. But there are indications, at least in some of the video that we're seeing, that this situation is, appears to be at least, now about an hour or so in, appears to be under control. But we're still waiting to get official confirmation of that from law enforcement officials, not only on the ground there, but also at the federal level. Josh?
Now, we spoke with a professor earlier who pointed out that while he thinks that the response by law enforcement has, to his opinion, from his vantage point looking down upon it, has been quite profound, he also pointed out that as recent as 5 years ago, there was no protocol involved in dealing with situations such as these. If nothing else, what has living in the day and age in which we live meant for the response we're seeing now?
It means that law enforcement more than ever is prepared for situations like we're seeing unfold right now. Whether this is an active shooter situation that continues to unfold, whether it was a false alarm, and again, we do believe, according to campus police, that there was some sort of active shooter situation on that campus. But no matter what the situation is, you're going to see this overwhelming response from law enforcement, not only local, but also federal law enforcement, because you just can't wait in situations like these to respond. You got to go, and you got to go with everything you have, and that's the way that law enforcement looks at situations like this. There have just been too many of them unfolding on college campuses, on elementary school campuses, on high school campuses, that they are now prepared to do this, and they are continuously drilling in situations like this across the country. Law enforcement is, because they want to be prepared. Before Columbine, there was the training was that you wait before you go into these active shooter situations. Well, all of that has changed over the last 20 years, where law enforcement does not wait to move in on suspects in active shooter situations. They go in immediately. They don't waste any time because the thinking is they want to lower the amount of danger that the people in the vicinity of these active shooter situations are going to be put in. So you don't wait, you go right in, and that's why you see this large police presence on the scene there.
It also explains the series of alerts sent by the school to the student body. One of them, very early on, included the instruction to run, hide, and fight. I've seen again on various social media, people struck by the stark nature of that instruction. But I also know that that is now a part of you can actually log on to the DHS.gov website, and there it is right there staring at you.
You're right. It's there, and it has been there because that is part of the training here. That's what law enforcement is advising people who are not armed and who may be in the path of an active shooter, no matter where that may be unfolding, to run, hide, and fight. That is the standard procedure, because if you are in the path of an active shooter, what law enforcement wants you to do is sort of put a barrier between you and the attacker. So you are pushing pushing chairs up against doors. You are putting whatever debris you can find between you and the attacker. And so that's what this run, hide, fight philosophy is all about. And as you noted, it's on the Department of Homeland Security website, and it's been there for quite some time. And again, it's just part of the thinking and the training that goes into these situations now, because we've seen so many of them over the last couple of decades, unfortunately. And part of the protocol is that these universities and even high school campuses are better equipped in terms of getting the message out to students and faculty, and that means using social media. And we saw that very early on in this case, where students and faculty, anybody on that campus, was informed with this mass Twitter alert, social media alert, that went out to the populace there to take shelter. And so that is also part of the protocol here in situations like this.
And certainly it is underway. Again, Jeff Pegues in Washington. I know you will be on top of the story for us throughout the day here. Jeff, as always, we appreciate the insight.